Bienvenue. Les aventures de Frank et Ben. Troisième série. Frank and Ben go back to Perkins on a Greyhound bus. 15e histoire. Frank and Ben go back to Perkins, part 15. 15 minutes later, the bus pulls into the Ottawa bus terminal. It enters one of the bays adjacent to the terminal and then comes to a complete stop. Numerous passengers then jump to their feet and start pulling their bags and other belongings out of the overhead luggage compartments. With the aisle now full of people, there is a lot of commotion. Everyone is anxious to get off the bus. Frank and Ben are also quick to get to their feet. They grab their pack sacks, move into the aisle, and wait for the people in front of them to start shuffling towards the front of the bus. It is at this point that Frank and Ben, along with Genevieve and Minot, have the opportunity to observe more closely Carlotta Hardbottom, who, despite the noise and activity, is sound asleep. Her head and shoulders rest on the seat near the window, while the lower part of her lies on the adjacent seat beside the aisle. Even though her legs are pulled up on the second seat so that her feet won't stick out and get in anyone's way, she doesn't look the least bit uncomfortable. With a small pillow behind her head and an oversized t-shirt draped over her shoulder and arms and pulled right up to her neck, she only seems strange to the four young people in that she remains so oblivious to all the noise and activity about her. At the same time, with her glasses off and her features set as peacefully as a child's, neither Ben, nor Frank, nor Genevieve, nor Minot think there is anything about her physical appearance that is the least bit odd. For some reason, there is a delay in getting off, and during this time, Ben studies Carlotta's sleeping features and feels some pangs of remorse. For once, he is not interested in the jokes Frank cracks to pass the time. Indeed, he is a bit put off by them and forces his mind back to when Carlotta returned to her seat after the bus driver had shouted at her as if she were a dangerous threat to him and everyone else on the bus. He remembers her coming back with a sorrowful look on her face. He remembers thinking that some injustice had been done. And yet neither he nor Frank nor Genevieve nor Minot nor anyone else on the bus said a word to Carlotta after she had returned to her seat and sat down. Not one of them asked her anything about the incident. Not one of them said a word to her, even though it was clear to all that she had been deeply hurt.